From labeling your pantry to personalizing gifts, vinyl is a staple for all crafters. Now, when I first got my Cricut Joy, I was surprised by just how easy it was to cut and create amazing vinyl projects. If you've ever wanted to use vinyl, but maybe you've been intimidated or you've had less than ideal results when you've tried using vinyl, then this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to be going over everything that you need to know about cutting vinyl with the Cricut Joy. Now, if you're new here, I'm Kimberly from Sweet Red Poppy, and every week I share a new crafting, sewing, or Cricut video here on my channel. So don't forget to subscribe below, that way you get notified whenever I have a new video that goes live. First off, I'd like to thank Cricut for sponsoring this video. You can find everything that you need to cut vinyl and create amazing projects at Cricut.com. Before we begin, let's quickly talk a little bit about the difference between vinyl and iron-on, because this tends to be one of the things that confuses people, especially when they're new to Cricut. Now, iron-on is also known as heat transfer vinyl, sometimes called HTV, and it is a heat-activated vinyl that requires an iron or a heat press to activate its adhesive backing. A simple way to tell the difference between the two is to look at the back of them. Iron-on has a clear liner on top, and the actual vinyl is actually layered underneath. Removable and permanent vinyl both have a liner with a grid. We're not going to be covering iron-on in this video, but be sure to check out the description below for an in-depth tutorial that covers Cricut's iron-on. Now, you may be wondering, what is vinyl? Cricut's vinyl consists of two different parts, so you can think of it kind of like a sticker sheet. The top layer is the vinyl, which actually has that sticky adhesive backing on it, and this is the material that you will be cutting and then applying to create your project. Your second layer on the bottom is the protective liner. While vinyl can be applied to the majority of flat surfaces, it's going to work the very best on non-porous items like walls, glass, and even plastic. If you've shopped online, or maybe you've visited the Cricut section in your local craft store, you've probably seen a few different types of vinyl. You can purchase vinyl for your Cricut Joy in two different ways. You can either purchase smart vinyl or large vinyl rolls. Smart vinyl is going to feature a thicker backing that enables you to cut on your Cricut Joy without having to use a mat. Personally, I love being able to quickly cut out my designs with my smart vinyl. In addition to it being able to be cut without a mat, smart vinyl is also going to let your machine cut all the way up to 4 feet at a time, or 20 feet if your cut is a repeated pattern. If I can find the design that I'm looking for, I'm always going to buy smart vinyl just because it's easier to use with this machine. Since smart vinyl is still a newer product, Cricut doesn't carry every single color or pattern of vinyl in smart vinyl. So if you're looking to create something that's a little bit more unique, you may need to use traditional vinyl. If you're going to be using a traditional roll of vinyl, you will need to use a cutting mat with it. Cricut carries two main categories of vinyl. We have permanent and removable. Removable vinyl is ideal for temporary decor since it doesn't leave a residue behind and you can easily change it out. I typically use this when I'm making projects that I don't plan on leaving up forever. It's great if you're decorating for a birthday party or applying a temporary decal to a window. Permanent vinyl, on the other hand, creates a long-lasting adhesive bond, making it ideal for projects that are going to undergo more wear and tear. This is the type of vinyl that I would use on a car decal, a label, anything that's really meant to be permanent. Now, both removable and permanent vinyl both come in a wide variety of different finishes. Matte vinyl comes in a variety of colors, and it's easy to weed and to transfer to your base. This is the vinyl that I use the very most often. True brush vinyl features fine stripes with an embossed texture, adding a little bit of extra depth and dimension to your project. I love using this when I am personalizing coffee cups or even mugs. Textured vinyl makes your projects pop. I love being able to add a 3D element to all of my projects. Cricut carries a wide variety of different patterns for every single need. Pattern vinyl comes in everything from cute little floral designs to licensed prints like Disney and even Marvel. If you're looking to add a little bit of extra sparkle to your project, then glitter vinyl is definitely the way to go. When you're using this, be sure to use strong grip transfer tape. If you're looking for something similar to glitter vinyl but without that never-ending glitter trail, you may want to try out shimmer or sparkle vinyl. Frosted vinyl makes me think of DIY weddings or even winter projects. It's going to add that translucent look and it adds the perfect touch to any project. For an extra metallic dimension, go ahead and try out metallic or textured metallic vinyl. Holographic vinyl is one of my absolute favorites. This eye-catching vinyl comes in a variety of different variations. We have crystal, sparkle, and even threads. Mosaic vinyl comes in a variety of colors and shapes, and it gives you a really stunning design. Stencil vinyl lets you create personalized stencils to decorate a wide range of projects. I like using it to create personalized wood signs. Chalkboard vinyl is perfect for making labels, message boards, calendars, and any other item that you might want to change up frequently. Smart Label Writable Vinyl is going to let you write directly on your vinyl. This is perfect for making quick labels. Now, I typically buy my vinyl directly from Cricut.com. I always know that Cricut's going to have exactly what I'm looking for, so I almost always buy online. Plus, if you're buying online, you can always wait for a big sale and then you can grab your materials at a discount. Now, personally, I am all about saving money wherever I can so that I get the very most out of my craft supply budget. Now that we've covered all of the different types of vinyl, you may be wondering what other tools and accessories you are going to need to cut it. When you're working with vinyl, you'll need to use transfer tape to transfer your design onto your base. Transfer tape is going to come in two different varieties. We have regular and we also have a strong grip. The regular transfer tape is used for the majority of vinyl projects. Strong grip, on the other hand, is used for vinyl that has a rougher surface like the glitter and the shimmer vinyl. Those materials require a little bit more stickiness from the transfer tape to be able to transfer to another base. When you're working with vinyl, you want to have at least two hand tools, a weeder and a scraper. If you don't have these, Cricut sells a Cricut Joy Starter tool set that comes with a weeder, a spatula, and a scraper. I would definitely recommend picking up one of these because it's going to make the process so much easier. A weeder has a sharp point to easily pull up all of the negative space from your designs. Cricut scrapers have this thin, flat edge so that you can burnish your design to the final project. It's going to ensure that your design is secure while you remove any bumps and bubbles. If you don't have these supplies and you just can't wait to get started on your project, a sewing needle or pin and a credit card can be used in a pinch in place of a weeder and a scraper. Now, are you ready to get started cutting out a project? I'm going to walk you through everything that you need to know to successfully cut out, weed, and apply your vinyl using your Cricut Joy. To begin, choose a design to cut out in Design Space. If you're new to Design Space, this is the software that Cricut uses that allows you to create all of your projects. They have thousands of images that are free for any user, or you can upgrade to Cricut Access for only $9.99 a month. If you plan on using your Cricut multiple times a month, then I would definitely recommend that you upgrade. Cricut Access is going to give you access to over 100,000 images and 500 different fonts. In addition to that, you can make incredible ready-to-make projects, and you're also going to save 10% on all of your Cricut.com purchases, including purchases on machines. Personally, I find that subscription pays for itself every single month just in the money that I save on supplies alone. Now, once your design is ready, click on Make It to be brought to the preview screen. Here you're going to choose whether you are going to cut with or without a mat. If you're using a smart material, select without mat. If you're using a regular material, you'll need to place it on a mat. Take a minute to look over your design and make sure that everything looks perfect. Click Next, connect to your Cricut Joy, select the material that you are planning on cutting. Now it's time to prep our material. If you are using Smart Vinyl, there's no prep required. You can just load and go. If you're using a traditional vinyl, you'll need to use a cutting mat. Begin by removing the clear liner from your mat. Trim down your vinyl to the correct size for your project. I typically cut my vinyl so that it's about 1 inch larger than my design, because there's nothing as sad as having part of your design that gets cut off and then wasting that material. Place the vinyl on your mat using the grid line to ensure that everything is lined up correctly. Now it's ready to be loaded into your machine. Once you have your vinyl loaded, go ahead and click Go to begin cutting. The Cricut machine will perform what's called a kiss cut. This means that it's only going to cut the top layer of the vinyl and not the backing. Once your machine has finished cutting, you can click the Unload button within Design Space, and that's going to unload your materials. You might have noticed that our Cricut Joy doesn't have any buttons, which is unlike the other Cricut machines. Everything is controlled via the Design Space app. Now it's time to weed out your design. Now, weeding refers to the process of removing the negative space from your design. This is the vinyl that you do not want to be transferred to your project. I'm going to use my weeder and I'm going to lift up the vinyl to remove the pieces that I don't want transferred to my base. If you're having a hard time weeding any part of your design, you can use the tip of your weeding tool and just gently drag it along those cut lines to loosen things up. Now it's time to transfer our design to our base. Before you transfer vinyl to any base, make sure that it's clean. Typically, I will just use some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel just to make sure that there's nothing on my base that might affect my vinyl transfer. You're going to want to cut a piece of transfer tape that's slightly larger than your design. Go ahead and peel away your transfer tape from the backing and place the transfer tape on top of your design. You can use these grid lines to keep everything lined up. Burnish the transfer tape to your design using your scraper, starting in the center of your design and then working outward. At a 45-degree angle, gently peel back the vinyl backing to transfer your vinyl to the transfer tape. If it's still adhered to the backing, just go over your transfer tape with your burnishing tool one more time. Now it's time to apply our design to our base. I like to bend my transfer tape into a U shape and apply the middle of the design first and slowly lower the sides, making sure that everything is aligned correctly. Now, if you don't love the position of your vinyl, you can gently peel it back up and reposition it. Now you can use your scraper to completely transfer the vinyl to the base by burnishing it back and forth. I work usually from the middle outwards, that way I can make sure I remove any of the air bubbles that might be there. Once the vinyl has completely adhered to the base, you can remove the transfer tape at a 45-degree angle. If you have any vinyl that lifts with the transfer tape, lay it back and burnish it again before you peel it away from the transfer tape. Now we have our finished project. If you've applied your vinyl to a surface that will need to be cleaned, make sure that you allow the vinyl to cure for at least 48 hours before you expose it to water. I love how easy it is to create custom vinyl projects with my Cricut Joy. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up or share it with a friend. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave me a comment below. Be sure to visit Cricut.com to purchase everything that you need to create your own custom vinyl projects. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week for another crafting video.